Do you believe in real-life miracles and destiny? Great, because I have a controversial piece of news for you. Your greatest pain today might be the secret to your fastest redemption tomorrow. The strongest human belief is that the past is dead, but this statement is counterintuitive, because the past is, in fact, a screenplay waiting to be rewritten. What if I told you that a simple encounter, marked by an identical tattoo on the wrist of a waitress and a tech billionaire, uncovered a 25-year-old paternity secret? And that this very revelation forced a brother to accept the call of a man he had buried 42 years ago? Well, life is not logical, and destiny is always watching, governing life and giving our lives a surprising path. So it all comes down to two families who tell how their time and distance were stolen, and who were only healed when they could face the truth. Get ready to discover how 25 years of lost love turned into a marriage, and how an empty coffin transformed into a family reunion. Let's start then. Destiny. A predetermined force that governs life in the universe. Dear listeners, allow me to tell you a secret about destiny. It loves to play tricks and manifests in the most improbable details. This is what happened to Lucia, a waitress in New York, when she encountered a tech billionaire named Adrian Keller. How could destiny unite them? A small, unpretentious identical tattoo, a red rose with the infinity symbol, marked on both their wrists. Imagine the scene. On a rainy afternoon, in one of the city's most expensive restaurants, the magnate Adrian Keller, worth $4.2 billion, comes in for a bite to eat. Incredibly, the young waitress Lucia, who lived on tips, is connected to him by an identical tattoo that harks back to a lost love 25 years ago. As Lucia serves a glass of wine to the billionaire, she looks very impressed at the tattoo on his arm. Outraged, curious, and also perplexed by the tattoo she also had on her arm. Lucia's unexpected question about the meaning of the tattoo made Adrian freeze, dropping the wine glass and staring at her as if she had brought him back from the dead. This spark ignited a curiosity in destiny that promised to set everyone involved's lives on fire. Lucia then remembered that destiny plays tricks. Yes, destiny. She recalled her friend David, who days before had told Lucia about a drama that destiny had also taken David by surprise. He told Lucia that his phone rang at 2 a.m., leaving him perplexed too. No one answers at that hour unless it's bad news, right? The nocturnal ring broke a 42-year mourning period for the loss of his younger brother, Tommy. The voice on the other end was faint, hesitant, but it brought the name of the brother David had buried in 1983. I am Tommy, for words that summed up a real-life miracle and put everything David believed about death into question. It was a cruel test of belief and sanity, but something in David's instinct kept him from hanging up. Tommy, David's brother, recounted during the phone call that he lived on the streets of Vancouver with amnesia and trauma, and had found a newspaper clipping. As a friend read the clipping, something in his memory lit up, and he managed to remember small images related to the newspaper and remembered that he was in that accident and remembered his family. He then found a phone in a shelter and asked the attendants for help. Through the newspaper article, they found his brother David. He called his brother, who couldn't believe what he was hearing. The only proof David needed to hit the road was when Tommy spoke of a blue door and Sunday blueberry pancakes, intimate memories from when they were children that only the real Tommy could have. That's when his very emotional brother David got in his car and went to meet his brother. This leads us to a profound concept that we cannot ignore. Second chances do not come wrapped in bows. Often, they arrive in the form of shock and urgency, like a terminal diagnosis or a 2 a.m. call. It's life and destiny telling us, wake up and resolve what's pending. Both the identical tattoo with a rose and the infinity symbol on the billionaire Adrian Keller and the waitress Lucia, and also Tommy's call, function as a great curiosity in destiny, proving that the past is never truly buried. They are the catalysts that force the characters to face the truth, no matter how unbelievable or painful. The urgency of the present, driven by Lucia's stage 4 cancer and Tommy's trauma, shows that time is scarce. It is a mental trigger that reminds us that we cannot postpone what is essential. It's fascinating to note how destiny uses a rose marked on the skin and a voice on the phone to unravel a tangle of secrets. Redemption was on its way, but it would require proof, and that's where science comes in. Life, my dears, loves to show us that what we think is definitive is, in fact, just a provisional version of the facts. Take the case of Tommy, David's brother, who was presumed dead and buried for over 4 decades. Knowing that he was not only alive but had survived 42 years on the streets of Vancouver, a victim of amnesia and trauma, is to realize and know that real-life miracles happen. This turnaround teaches us something fundamental about human resilience. Even when the mind forgets, the body remembers, and the instinct for survival keeps us alive. When David saw the scar on Tommy's forearm, the same one from the boy who fell off his bicycle, it was not just a physical mark, it was the irrefutable link that he was, indeed, the little Thomas Carr. This same irrefutable force of destiny enters Lucia's story, The Waitress. The revelation that Adrian Keller, the tech billionaire, could be her father because of an identical tattoo is one of those moments when the universe laughs at our logic. Think with me. The chance of 2 lost loves, separated by a cruel mistake of time that lasted 25 years, being reunited by the daughter he didn't even know existed, is statistically ridiculous. But destiny likes ironies, and that's what creates the best narratives and the greatest second chances in life. Lucia's reversal of fortune is the modern Cinderella dream. She goes from struggling to pay medical bills to discovering that her father is a magnate, capable of funding the best treatments. Money, in this case, is not the solution to the problem, but the tool of redemption that the father uses to correct the lost years and save his daughter Lucia's life. This journey from uncertainty to confirmation, both for David and Lucia, underscores the importance of proof. David needs the scar and the memories to believe in Tommy. Adrian and Lucia need the DNA to confirm paternity and validate the emotional chaos. Often, in our own lives, we get stuck in situations because we don't have proof that something better is possible. The miracle of Tommy and the redemption of Adrian show that the truth, however incredible, frees us for the next step. Lucia's life was collapsing under the weight of debt and disease, but the secret of the identical tattoo acted as a reset button. This family reunion not only saved Lucia but gave a new purpose to Adrian and, as a bonus, a new identity to Lucia. Destiny, my friends, has a peculiar sense of humor, often manifesting in the form of a miscommunication or a missed encounter by 1 month. This is exactly what happened to Adrian, Lucia's father, and Julia, Lucia's mother, the identical tattoo lovers, whose relationship was interrupted by a tragic time of misunderstanding. Lucia's parents were starting their married life, but Julia, Lucia's mother, needed to return to Italy because of her sick grandmother, and Adrian had to move to New York in December 1999 to earn money and build a future for the two of them. But Adrian didn't know that Julia, his great love, was pregnant. The cruelest part of this story is that redemption was one step away. Adrian moved in early December for a better-paying job, wanting to save up to go after Julia. Julia returned to New York in March, 7 months pregnant, but he had already left the old apartment. Before traveling, Adrian left his new phone number and address with a neighbor, as where his wife was staying was in a location without phone signal, and Adrian was worried about his beloved wife. But when Julia returned home, her husband was no longer there. Again, destiny takes action, and a single missed encounter and the neighbor who forgot to pass on the new phone number were enough to create a 25-year tragedy. This 25-year conflict reminds us that, sometimes, life separates us, not for lack of love, but because of circumstances beyond our control. Both spent more than 2 decades blaming themselves and thinking the other had given up. Adrian thought Julia had chosen to stay in Italy, and she believed he had forgotten her and decided to move on without her. The pain of loss was, for Adrian, the engine for his success. He plunged into work, built the software empire, and became the tech billionaire, but always carrying the identical tattoo they got together in moments of great love, as the only proof that she was real. Financial success came, yes, but loneliness persisted, as he never found that again. Julia also looked at the tattoo with memories of loving and happy times, but without knowing what had happened, she dedicated 24 years to working as a housekeeper and raising Lucia alone, who also got a tattoo on her arm identical to her mother's. Even though Julia hid the truth about the magnate's paternity to protect herself and her daughter. The family reunion in a diner in an unexpected way, both for Adrian who didn't know about his daughter's existence and for Lucia who had a terminal illness, was the only way the universe found to untangle the knot of the past using a tattoo of love, a rose and the infinity symbol. Adrian, upon seeing the tattoo on the waitress's arm, realized he was facing a miracle, and his heart was filled with happiness because there could be all the answers he had sought for over 25 years. Yes, that's when he politely asked the waitress if she could say her mother's name, and when Lucia said it was Julia, he realized he was one step away from having all that misunderstanding resolved, and getting his family back, a happiness that not all his $4.2 billion could buy. The big lesson here is about forgiveness and redemption. Instead of anger, Lucia felt sadness and understanding, recognizing that her parents did the best they could amidst the chaos, without guilt. And Adrian, finally, was able to use his fortune as a lever for healing, paying off the medical debt and funding expensive experimental treatments. The confirmation of paternity by DNA and the search for treatments show that, when destiny decides to act, it acts with urgency, offering second chances that must be seized. But total redemption is not instantaneous. It requires the characters to look to the future with the same courage that miracles can happen. Second chances do not just mean happy endings, above all, they mean a miracle and a path to redemption and healing. Take the case of Tommy, who, although he returned to David's life, is no longer the 19-year-old boy. He is a man forged by 42 years of trauma, amnesia, and survival on the streets. Tommy's true resilience lies in the act of learning to be a person again. He fights nightmares, fear of crowds, and the constant feeling of being lost in his own life. The support of David and Sarah, and therapy with Dr. Walsh, are the new safe harbor. Tommy's journey is a powerful reminder that the family reunion does not erase the pain of the past but makes it bearable. Memories come in flashes, the taste of pancakes, the name of the dog, and little by little, he rebuilds who he is, or becomes someone new that includes the old Tommy. It is resilience expressed through elegance and intelligence. In the world of stories, intuition can be powerful, but in real life, unquestionable proof is what allows us to close one cycle and start another. That's where DNA comes in, the scientific element that seals the real-life miracle and the 42-year mystery. Imagine the tension in the hospital room, Adrian, with the trembling envelope in his hands, and Lucia, with her heart racing. The DNA test, with its mathematical coldness, would validate the encounter forced by the identical tattoo and Lucia's illness. The 99.9% probability of paternity was not just a number, it was the confirmation that destiny had, in fact, acted spectacularly. The tech billionaire was, without a shadow of a doubt, the father Lucia had never known existed. This scientific certainty gave Adrian the license for the total miracle. The "now I fix this," he said, was not an empty promise, but an action plan, paying the medical debts, funding Lucia's treatment, and giving her the chance to focus on her studies. In parallel, the DNA test of Tommy and David, with a 99.97% probability of brotherhood, validated David's courage in driving 7 hours in the middle of the night. This proof ended a 4-decade mourning period and opened the doors to healing Tommy's trauma. DNA here functions as an authority trigger, transforming an unbelievable story of second chances into an unquestionable truth. It shows that, however chaotic the past may be, biological truth has the power to anchor the present. Often, in our lives, we need an emotional DNA proof, something that confirms that it's worth fighting for or that our intuition was correct. Science, in this case, proved that the love and family of Adrian and Julia, and of David and his brother Tommy, were never dead, just dormant. The confirmation of paternity not only healed the past but also transformed Lucia's future, who was able to return to college. Tommy's real-life miracle began a journey of trauma and healing. With the truth revealed and the past, in a way, corrected, it's time to look ahead. What do these new beginnings, financed by New Hope, mean for the future? With the DNA confirmation and the promise of second chances in the air, the focus shifts from the trauma of the past to building a future. Adrian and Julia, after 25 years of separation, were not just fixing the mistake but living a total miracle and joy of a great love. Adrian used his wealth to ensure Lucia had the best treatments at Sloan Kettering, an act of lost and rediscovered love. Money, the result of his billionaire loneliness, finally fulfilled its original purpose, taking care of Julia and his daughter. Destiny forced them to act, and the thread of hope guides them forward. Lucia's healing in the lover's wedding, even in the hospital room, confirm that true love survives anything. And this truth, once discovered, is the only foundation that matters. But what happens when the past, even corrected, needs to be honored? And how do the lessons of redemption and autonomy become a lasting legacy for those to come? The true value of an epic story, like this one, is not in the miracles themselves, but in the wisdom it leaves, the legacy for the next generations. David, who spent 42 years in mourning, learned that hope is not foolishness, even when it seems impossible. David's redemption, by welcoming his traumatized brother, and Adrian's redemption, by using his wealth to save Lucia and reunite with Julia, his great love, show that family is not just about shared memories, but about choosing to show up day after day, even when it's hard. It is a powerful teaching about resilience. The legacy that everyone builds is a fabric of second chances. Adrian and Julia, with their faded identical tattoos, teach that love overcomes time and distance. David and Tommy, who can finally smile together, teach that it's never too late to be who you really are. And there it is, dear listeners. The story of how a simple identical tattoo led to the redemption of a tech billionaire, and how a real-life miracle brought a brother back from trauma after 42 years. The deepest lesson we take from this is, destiny is not a straight line, it is a web of secrets and second chances waiting for you to decide to pull the right thread. You saw the strength of DNA proof and the power of unconditional loyalty. Now, the question that really matters is, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you waiting for a 2 a.m. call to change your life, or will you act today? What is your unresolved trauma that prevents you from living your own redemption? And what do you need to prove to yourself, and not to others, to achieve your autonomy? Stop being a spectator and start being the protagonist of your own epic. Encourage yourself to apply respect and honest communication in your relationships.